Hi guys, it's Dave Bennett. It is October 18th. I'm going to give you an LPE project update right now. Okay, we have really refined the way we do the campaigns to the point where we're even adding ad extensions into the AdWords, and it's all call only ads. So I'm just going to show you as an example. We got 4 industries done right now. That's distressed homes, DUI, lawyer DUI, orthodontist, and GDR. And we're following it up with more. We've got roofers next, then pest control, which is interesting because it's multifaceted. Pest control is, small animals and big animals, termites, spiders, ants, and then big animals are like squirrels, raccoons, etc. Badgers and moles in the backyard. So these are different campaigns that we're doing back to back. And then we got towing. Okay, so roofers, then pest control, then towing. Okay, and so the roofers is underway now. It's going to be done real soon. Then the rest. So over the next week, we're going to be done. Here is what we have been doing with them. So we're getting them further. So for instance, if we were to take a look at one of these ads, here's the way this kind of a thing shows up on a mobile phone, okay? Here goes the ad. It's going to have the right phone number, not that one, with the website. Here's the ad. It's explaining where it's at, some location. And it's either going to be the keyword that shows up here or the actual default term for this particular ad group for this term, okay? So this is for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ads. So we have variations on them. So here's what it says now, and here's what it says, here's what it says. And so it's got these extensions that really explain what's going on. And the whole idea is call. Now, for those of you who say, okay, because I was wondering, it's one thing to say, I want to fund into the AdWords to get money going, to get my cut from the AdWords. Remember, we already decided anyone can fund AdWords anywhere in the system, whether it's for your own projects or other projects. If you want to set it up almost like a portfolio and fund some of these as they come live, you can do that. We're not going to stop you because we didn't see a point. Not everyone who gets a project has funds for AdWords or knows what to do with that or cares. And so why can't somebody else fund that? And still the shares are getting split across the owner of the project, the AdWords manager, the AdWords funder, the website guys, and whoever else I'm missing. There's like a 5-way split with, oh yeah, the cold caller, when all of it runs right. Now, I'm going to explain what's going on and why the cold caller is so important to that in just a minute, but I want to point this out. A lot of guys said, okay, it's a good site, it's a cool site, I like the site, it's great. But, how much split testing do you have to do to really decide how you're going to make something like this even stronger and better and so on and so forth? And the answer is, that's not the point. What we need is for Google to see this, not humans. As far as AdWords is concerned, we need Google to see this, not humans. We need Google to see this information and the external links that go elsewhere to keep dealing with the citations. We need Google to see the internal links that go to different pages within the project. We need Google to see that there's a video down here. We need Google to see all this stuff and the sitemap links and everything else. Google needs to see all this for AdWords. A human won't. What's a human going to see? What Google has computed and turned into a cool cost for us, because not only do we have a quality page totally about the topic, but it's connected to lots of other quality pages totally about the topic. People see this. Google did math on the quality of the page and the quality of the website and the backlinks to the website and said, based on all the computations, your ad should cost this much for that much placement. And the stronger and bigger and better your website is, and the more backlinks you have, well, add all that up the right way, not mass backlinks, but strategic backlinking in, and especially the deeper pages of your site, which is something we've automated in the software installer tool. Okay. Then Google says, when all the math is said and done, it's going to cost this much for you to show this when somebody does a search on their cell phone, like during lunch, when no one's looking, when they're looking for one of these and stepped out in the parking lot or back into their car. And what they're going to see is the ad. And the ad's going to be tailored to whatever it is they searched for. That's why it's a keyword colon in a tokenization format. And what do? They hit the button to call. They're not going to the web page. They don't see this. They call now. Okay? That goes to the tracking system where the owner of the project can listen to the recordings. where the AdWords manager can listen to the recordings to make sure that they've got the AdWords dialed in right, and based on the response on the recordings, they can tell if they need to tweak and improve. The AdWords Funder gets access to listen to the recording so he can make sure people are paying attention in the first place and that the money is being spent well. Okay, those are the three that matter the most. But anyone that has a need to know can definitely be allowed to listen to the call recordings. Of course, the report goes out and the client will get to listen to the calls if they want, when they go for the billing and pay the billing. Okay. Now, we've got all this going on. It's a big deal. When you lay everything out like this, then your AdWords can cost a lot less than your competition. You're just being savvier than they are. And that's what our job is, right? To be savvier and do this stuff really well. I don't know what to tell you. It's a big deal. Now, here's the other side of the house. Cold callers, especially, try to understand this one. This is neat. We have been in the background talking about how to create the perfect pitch. And then we said, of course, that used to be the perfect pitch yesterday. Now we have a better one. And that led to, we have this more open, wider, better approach, and yet we can nail it down, so on and so forth. Point is, yesterday was a milestone. Our cold caller decided to hit a bunch of live calls. And he made between 75 and 80. And out of the 75 to 80, which took him 3.5 hours, he got 4 yeses. He got 4 guys on. He took their information over the phone, filled in a simple form just to make sure to get the information correct. He got 4 deals in 3.5 hours, which for him is like a landslide record. Normally his best days are 3 deals out of the 6 hours he works before he's tired of it. So to get 4, and here's how he put it. Depending on your interpretation, he called between 75 and 80 phone numbers during that 3.5 hour period from a list, just went through the list. All the guys in the same area pitching him pretty much the same thing, okay? And it was for roofers. And when he called, he also said 4 guys, 3 definite yes, 1 said yes, but he's not really sure about that guy, but 2 more guys said definitely, but then got called away and couldn't complete the form and said, we'll have to call you back, and hung up. So he said, depending on your interpretation, he got between 3 and 6 deals closed in 3.5 hours. Okay? Why do you care? Because a lot of people don't understand the kind of money that's coming out of setting up this whole massive project where everyone's getting a cut because everybody is involved in this on a daily basis. Website guys tweak the pages to make them better and change them for the needs of the client. AdWords managers are managing the AdWords funders' money. Cold callers are landing deals. That's their job. What if you could land a deal an hour? And what if you could do it for as many days or as many hours a day as you wanted? Let me point out with a calculator. Let me make sure I get this clear, okay? So let's say we're starting a campaign, and let's say that it's a roofer and they're going to pay $58 a lead. Okay, and that the AdWord cost to us would be like $8 a lead, leaves $50 left over. Okay, now 5 guys. Okay, from each of those good calls. So wait a minute, we say good calls. So let's just back up a little bit. Let's go. All right. Well, if the average call is between $5 and 10, let's say 7.5 or so, and let's say it takes us like 3 of those. So it's going to be like 20. Okay, so let's say the guy's going to pay us 58. Let's say it costs us, I don't know, 21, 22. All right. And you're going to get your cut of that, $5. Or I'm sorry, what divided by 5. Yeah. 20% of that. About $7.50. Okay. I don't care what you want to say. Let's say that we're having an off period and it's really going to be $4 here. I'm going to make this point just as low as I can. Okay. Because all this stuff's transparent. That's not the question. And we're working really well on the ads. We could keep the costs down, et cetera, et cetera. But sometimes there's a bit up, sometimes it goes down, sometimes it goes up, but it's controllable. I want to make this point. I want to come as low as possible so that you cannot disagree. Okay. Let's say you got $4 in profit every time a good call got sold to that guy you landed. Let's say it took you an hour to land a deal with a guy. And every time we get him a good lead, okay, you're getting $4 profit. Now, really, you're getting, again, more like 7.5 or more, probably more like 12, okay? I'm going to say 4 so that you can see what's going on. Let's say we can get the guy 3 good leads a day. I just want to make this point. Say it's going to be like 3 a day. $12 a day doesn't sound like much, except you're not involved. This is just accumulating. Okay, let's say that happens like 5 days a week. Okay, and let's say that happens times 4.3 weeks a month as a reality check. Oh, 200. Let's just say 250. I'm going to keep chopping the number down. Let's say you're getting 250 a month. It's residual, because once the guy's in, if that's the best we can do is get him 3 leads a day, and we can do no better. It's just he's in a small town. And that's the best we can do. We can't get the ads any cheaper. Let's just say that's optimal for long term. 250 a month you got from that guy. Okay, that took you 1 hour. So are you making 250 bucks an hour? Because that guy's going to pay next month and the next month and the next month and the next month. As soon as we're getting good leads to a guy, even if it's 1 good lead out of 8 calls, they're going to live with 7 bad calls just to talk to the one guy. Okay, that's true for 20. We've asked. If we sent 20 calls to a company and only 1 turned into a sale, they're already happy. They're like, if you can do that, even if it's a good lead, even if it's a lead that should be calling us and maybe could be a sale, sometimes we'll, sometimes won't, we're already happy. We'll take 19 bad calls to get the 1 good call. Most companies are like that, blew our minds. How much are you making per hour? Well, let's say the guy sticks on for an average of 3 years, because it's going to be probably the foreseeable future of these campaigns is going to be like 3 years. So that's 36 months. 9 grand. Over 3 years, paid in pretty even spaces. It's going to be like monthly or bi-weekly. Don't ask me for specifics. We haven't gotten that far yet. If we get this thing really down to a perfect score, here's how it's going to be. We gather the call data for a week, send it to the client. The client has a week to pay. Client pays. Client also has a further week to send us any notes back about, hey, this call actually was wrong and that call was wrong. We need to make an adjustment to credit us on the next round of calls. Okay. So you're talking about like a 3-week lead, except it's not 3 weeks stop start and then the next 3 weeks stop start. It's every week overlaps the next thing that's happening, overlaps the next thing that's happening. So you're going to get paid in arrears like 3 to 4 weeks behind, because then we need another lag of about a week to make the adjustment back through to you. Okay, so you'll probably be getting paid on a weekly basis, but it'll kick in a week later, or I'm sorry, a month later. So on the 5th week, you get paid for the 1st week. The 6th week, you get paid for the 2nd. Won't happen right away because we're dialing this in. So the first time that we start making payouts to cold callers is probably going to be something like bi-weekly. And then we'll move forward from there. I mean, it's part of this program. There are guys doing this kind of thing for themselves, but we're doing this program this way now. And for you guys, that's how it's going to be. It's going to kick in quick, grow quick, and we're going to have a handle on it real fast. Now, let me come back to this. $9,000 for an hour of work. What if you could land 8 guys a day? And what if you did it for a month? And what if you just watched your attrition? Whenever you felt like, yeah, some of the money was dropping off and some guys dropped out, you just made a couple more calls to get some new guys in. What if you could land a deal an hour? That's going to bring me back to the cold caller side of this, and I'm done with this update because I need to make this point here right now. And again, this is why I kept shoving the numbers so far. What was it, $4? What if it's really times, $12? It would have been like 3. Who knows? Maybe we're making $27,000 for an hour of work. Okay. Cold callers have a few simple jobs. You call, get the guy interested. If you call to voicemail, then when the guy calls back warm, asking questions, then close them. Simple jobs there, right? Really straightforward. Once in a while you call to follow up, make sure they like their leads and stuff, just to be that man calling that person back so they recognize you, okay? That way you can just say, hey, how do you like it, and so on. We have upsells. We have upsells in the back end. We got whole websites we can sell these guys that are top notch, okay? We have things we can do for them that you get paid for, okay? But we'll always pay attention to where the money's strong. I mean, otherwise you don't have an incentive to trade some guy to a new program unless, of course, it works in your favor. So we're going to make sure to keep that clear. Why do we want you calling these guys back? Why are we willing to pay you, $9,000 over 3 years for that one deal? I'll tell you why. Say you're landing 8 guys a day and say half of them pan out. So say that's 4 guys a day times 5 is 20 guys a week. That's new campaigns, right? Say you do that for a month. That's 100 guys that need to be called back every month. Well, if you're one cold caller, you know, getting 80 to 100 guys a month that need to be just finessed every once in a while, and then we got another cold caller doing the same thing, another one doing the same thing, another one doing the same thing, another one doing the same thing, guess what? That just turned into work. Not a lot of work. You know, you could call 3 guys a day, just touch base, 3 minutes each, 5 minutes each. Maybe that occasional upsell call, that pays you better. But there you go. We need you doing that. We don't want to do that. The only parts that we're going to handle, of course, because we have to, it's for security, it's because it's on us, is you aren't going to build them. We're going to build them. We're going to build them. We're going to communicate with them for billing, right? That's because we have to. We can't just hand it to you to hand it to them. You could doctor the numbers. It could reflect badly on us. Just a security thing. So you're not going to bill, but what we can do is we can send them the bill and send a copy of it to you. That way you know exactly what they're being billed for, and you can call them to follow up just to make sure everything's good to go and remind them that they have a week to make the payment. Okay? Whether we decide to enforce that or not is something that we just decide as we go. But you'll love it. I mean, it's tremendous money. There's no question that's tremendous money. And you may just be calling them the first couple of times until they understand what they're doing. Okay? Dumb simple. No harm, no foul, but an incredible way to make money that keeps paying you even when you're not around. That means you can take a long vacation and you can make these calls from anywhere. If you can get on the internet, so you can send us an email with their form, like on Word, so that we know what kind of leads they need and what kind they don't, and what their hours of operation are, and where they're located, their company name, their desired phone number, email address, and phone number to contact the guy, okay? Then that's it. You just send that to us. Other than that, call a couple of guys. Stupid simple, right? I mean, just how hard can that be? Now, that's the cold caller's cut. And for anybody who doesn't know if they can still do it, I want to make a couple other points. Our guy said, I asked him, because this is the stuff people want to know. If you go calling through 75 to 80 people to get 4 deals, that means that like the remainder of the guys, right? So like you get a deal every 15 to 20 calls. That's awesome, right? That's pretty cool. So I need 14 guys to say no before someone says yes. I said, of the guys saying no, I mean, how many of them are calling you a jerk? How many of them want you to go take a flying leap somewhere? How many of them are, you know, giving you a hard time? And he said, I said, most of the rest. And he's like, no, hold on. And he just actually kind of counted in his head and he said, 4. I said, 4. I said, so you called 70 to 80 people. 4 guys said I'm in. And in order to get every one of those, you had to go through a guy who said, get out of here, jerk, in so many words. He said, yeah. He hadn't thought of it that way. It's a flip of the coin. It's either the guy's going to say, I'm in, or he's going to say, piss off. I said, what about the guys in the middle? Just not applicable. He said, no, thank you very much, but we don't see a need for that, or we have somebody who does that, but have a great day. Take care. He said, neutral, not particularly anything, not particularly friendly or unfriendly at all. He goes, just normal course of conversation stuff. It's like, really? I didn't know that, right? You know how many guys don't cold call because they're just afraid of rejection? To the point where you're afraid to make 14 calls and get 14 people to say go to hell, even if the 15th call is going to pay you $9,000 over 3 years. And for $9,000, I can call 14 people and get told go to hell. But what I'm hearing, for the one guy who said yes, I got paid $9,000 to hear one guy tell me to go to hell. Well, where's the problem? I don't see a problem. All right. I do have to break off and do some other things. I'm going to say this. We're going to be launching stuff really, really soon. It's going to start to feel like a stock market around here because we're going to hit the campaigns, monitor the calls, make sure they're coming through right, tweak as we go. Once the campaigns are great, we can start moving into new territory. So we'll just tell cold callers, hey, call that city next, call that city next, call that city next, call that city next, land it, land it, land it. And we can set guys up with territories, and we can hand you more leads to call than you can handle. We'll hand you 100 at a crack, and they're unique. None of the old cold callers get the same leads you do. So there is no tripping over each other. There is no, hey, somebody just called me asking about that. That's not going to happen, okay? So all that means is get in. We got an agreement for the independent guys. You're independent when you're making these calls and doing all these things, right? You're getting your commissions from us. Right. And so everybody gets paid though on this way up, and we're going to make sure everyone gets placed into this and everyone earns, because it's been a group effort to get this high. All you guys who said choose for me, you didn't know what you were selling. You're just selling, whatever it is we think. And so what that means is we're responsible for making sure to get you into that pool of guys who gets covered in the end, and you're going to be there. We want you there, so you want to keep coming back. And you're going to want to keep coming back because of what's going on. In the meantime, we have a lot more assets for sale. Anybody wants to get a GDR right now, garage door repair, there are tier 2s right now that are open. Go into theme2html.com, hit Streamline Project, okay, and pick it up. We have GDR Co-op and GDR Own the Whole Website. We have other stuff coming out soon. I'll get back to you on that. There's going to be nationwide roofer websites coming out real soon. If you want one of those, say me. Just put that down. So you can either pay for everything in and get the entire project for yourself nationwide, or you can make a split payment. That's for those of you who just don't trust us yet. Put in the industry you want, but try to follow our lead, right? We'll call you if you put something in that we're not working on, just to say, are you willing to wait? We're willing to put that into the queue. But if you want something that's pretty much ready to go now, let me make this point. There are 2,000 centers in the nation. If we were fueling all of them with AdWords, it's a terrific amount. You're talking about like $1 million a day spent just to cover all the areas one time with no competition at all. Okay. In other words, owning the industry, right? So garage door, we have 6 garage door repair websites right now that are not owned by anyone. Okay. That are done already. They'll be attached same day, ready to roll. We're doing a garage door campaign. I think I know a guy who wants to put at least $2 or $3 grand into that to get that thing kicked off. And that means that we'll get to prove it out. Once we have it proven, that's the thing I was talking about, the stair-stepping thing. All of us get carried up. It doesn't matter how long it takes to get there, as long as we get there, because then everything is just stair-step your way playing up. Everybody gets a cut of the profit. Nationwide, garage door repair, it's endless. There is no way that we're going to hit the end before we can cover everyone. We could have 10,000 people in that and still have room for them all. Now, we don't have any 10,000 people in that. We don't have anything like that, right? We just have a handful of guys who are interested in each of these industries. You want to get in the garage door right now? We'll have that thing live for you by Monday, okay? From the time of this recording, we'll have it live for you really, really fast. Complete connected to a phone number, waiting for AdWords to get AdWords funded either by you or by somebody else. Okay, we got more coming. Orthodontist clinic templates. I already know who owns that stack. He's happy with that right now. We don't have any more on the way. Cold callers who want to get into that, start calling orthodontists. We got this big list of guys who are warm and we say warm because we already know what they're putting money into, and these guys are going to want to be part of this as soon as they understand what's going on. We've figured out the best pitch and the best approach and the best way to go about this. So I don't know what to say. It's really it's been a long haul. It's worth it. It's worth it. We're almost there. Guys, get your assets. Those of you who say, hey Dave, I have money to spend. There have been some guys who've said that, and I've just literally not had time to get back to you yet. Get a hold of me now and say, what do I do now? Because we actually have campaigns that need money put into them. Okay. Those of you who say, I want to get into a campaign and kick it off, all right, and make that thing work, what kind of rights do I get to that for choosing direction and angle and so on? Those of you who say, I want to get something going and make sure I get to follow through on my cut of that, let me know, okay, so that we can get you on a roll, because there's money in this for everyone, okay? It's big. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks a lot for hanging in there. And like I say, any of you guys want to get started, hit the website, okay? And then hit Streamline Project right here, okay? Takes you right there. You probably know what the LPE Project is. You know what's going on with it. You know what we're doing with it, so you know the drill. And there you have it. Co-ownership's down here. Anybody need to go co-ownership? Tier 2, 600. Go for that right now, especially those of you who want to do like tier 2 for garage door repair. You can get into that, for a state. Okay, of course, owning the whole website's better, because for the price of 3 states, okay, you get the whole thing that we're doing, all right, which is what is this, 24, 22, 22 or 24 of the most applicable, populous, relevant states in the nation, okay, for the one price. It's a really big deal. It's a good deal. And we're going to do for you the stuff that you see here. It's going to be all powerful like this for low cost, as in beat the competitors' costs. Like, we know how to pull this off. And if it's still, if some of the leads are still saying, I can't afford it at that level, put you in a shared program. Okay. One way or another, we've got room for everyone. And we've got an easy way to bring them in at the rate of 1 an hour per guy. Okay. So we can fuel all the campaigns you guys want to set up. If we have 10 cold callers landing 8 deals a day, that's 80. That's 80 combinations of industry times location that we're covering per day. Okay, like a DUI lawyer in 80 cities. In one day, we've got them all saying, I'm willing to pay for leads. Start shooting them my way. Let's see how it goes. Okay, that's kind of where we're at. All right. Yeah, give me a call. Let's talk through your project and make sure you understand what's going on and that you know where you want to be. Do you want to own an asset? Do you want to fund the AdWords campaign? Do you want to be a cold caller? Get in, get going. This thing's growing hard and fast, okay? It's really funny what's going on. Be part of it. All right, that's the update for right now. I don't know what to say. This thing's going to just go big here soon, okay? We already got 3K in for the first distressed homes, Washington. Okay, and as soon as that thing's ready, we can start looking at that nationwide. Same with like DUI lawyers. It's not going to take any time to get funding in for that. I know guys who want to fund that. It's kind of like this. If you try to invest in the stock market or the Forex market, you don't know whether it's going up or down, and you don't know why. You don't have the inside information. In this case, if you're putting money in and you're listening to the recorded calls, you know exactly what's going on. You know what we're doing. We've got the guys doing it this way. So you absolutely understand what the money's going for. And so it's going to go up. And you're going to be there knowing it's going to go up. That's just, I won't make it a promise, but basically is. Generally speaking, all I mean to say is this. When you have this many guys who are working together, who know what they're doing, yeah, get in and get rolling, because this is it. This is really huge. We're not doing anything else, you know, as big as this. We have other things going on, but software stuff, you know, just all the software stuff we do. Okay. All right. Talk to you soon.